So we thought to do a nice Q&A session and a bit of an informative video instead of just our normal travel videos here at our villa in Bali. But it seems whenever we want to do things like that, there's always a disturbance. So now it's the noise. They're building right behind us, and it's been going on like that for the last 2 days. So every time we try to sit down and do an interview on the camera, it's so noisy we can't do anything. So we're going to try now and go to the beach and find a nice quiet spot where we can do that. This is the best we can do. We try to find a less noisy place, but we struggle with that. But anyway, welcome to a very hot and nice Bali.
Welcome everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to Bali.
Welcome to Bali.
Right, so after almost a year of traveling, which included South Africa and mostly Asia, almost here in Asia now, we thought it's time to give you guys an update on our travels. You've seen all the movies and this crazy family just going all over the place, so we thought it's perhaps time to just give you an update where it comes from, where we're going to, and just our experience on how the travel turned out for us. So we're in Bali, and it has a lot of significance. The major thing about Bali is it all started here 10 years ago. That's when I married my beautiful wife, and we became husband and wife. So that's why we're back in Bali. We're going to celebrate that in the next month or two. It's about 2 months time, in April. We had, in our very first movie, we had our 9-year anniversary when we just packed up everything in South Africa to go traveling. So we actually have a list of all the stuff that we want to go through. There were a lot of questions, there's a lot of concerns, and we'll try and cover all of that. So Melanie, show us the list.
I don't think it's really concerns. I think it's more people being curious, which is obvious. How do you do this? How do you manage?
Sorry, I don't bump into that thing. Alright, cool, sorry.
It's not what you think it is. How is it for us as a family to travel full time? What is your experience?
Alright, so being in a different lifestyle, it means you see your family the whole time. There's no escape, there's no going to school or going to work. You always see your family, you're always with your family. So in that context, and I think that the question has been asked so many times, and the question has been answered so many times.
Thank you. Do you want a glass, Katie?
No, thank you.
Thanks.
In that context, and I guess the answer is always the same. The most amazing thing is to be with your family every single minute of the day. But also the worst thing is to be with your family every single minute of the day. There's no escaping mood swings, there's no escaping anything. You have to sort it out, and you are there with each other every day. So that's my experience.
And you definitely get your up days and you do get your down days, and the down days can be very hard. So my advice for any family considering doing what we are doing, make sure your relationship is okay. You have to be strong in your relationship, and I think we have such a lovely and strong bond, and Eben is my soulmate. I truly love him, and I wouldn't have done this with anyone else in the world. If you don't feel comfortable with your situation as a family, work on that first before doing something like this, because it's very challenging, and it's very challenging on your relationship as well. For me, it has just strengthened it. We had a very strong relationship. For me, it has strengthened it. But I think it can also do a lot of damage because you need to cope with mood swings and children being there all the time. It's a challenge, but it's great.
Yeah, so there's definitely, I think, a lot of growth in us as a family. We wouldn't think that it's possible, but we've got to know each other so much better in the last year. And I think we just managed to sort out all the issues and just go forward. So it's amazing. And you can imagine for two little kids, two sisters or two siblings, being together the whole time. It's not always easy. It's tough. There's a lot of fighting. Nothing serious. And the scary thing is if you take the one away from the other one, within minutes they miss each other. And that's a good sign. So.
Safety. How did we find safety in Southeast Asia, especially traveling with children?
Right, so yeah, a question came out about the safety regarding the kids. So for me, safety with your kids, it's a global thing. You're always attent on that. You're always on the lookout. You're always careful. You never ever want to be in a situation where you will say, if I only had made sure that they're okay. So that's always a risk. Being in Asia, I wouldn't say I felt it being worse. As a matter of fact, they were so overwhelmed and so welcomed in every country we went to, Malaysia, Thailand and Vietnam. As a matter of fact, they're quite unique. Blue eyes and blonde hair in Asia is it's a rare thing. So people...
the places we travel to, which is less touristy.
Yeah, so in Asia it's a rare thing, and it actually became a problem that people want to touch them, feel them, speak to them. Initially it's nice, they love it, yeah, and kiss them. So initially it's nice, but after a couple of months it becomes an issue and they try to avoid it. They don't like it because it's just too much, and that's everybody. And then the other thing, I think in places like Malaysia, Prevention, if there were 5 or 6 18-year-old boys around my two daughters, I would have felt it's not right. But there, it was just normal. And it happened so many times. Everybody loved the kids. So I don't know how it's for other people and other kids, but for us it was actually amazing. So we were so welcomed here in Asia. The kids were so taken care of and loved by all the people around us. So it wasn't an issue for us. Safety was never an issue. It might be a bit biased coming from South Africa.
What is our income and what is our budget when we travel?
That's a question that has come up a lot, and everybody wants to know, how do we make money and how do we keep on traveling? So obviously we have this YouTube thing going. We don't make money with that at all. So why do we do YouTube? There's a couple of reasons. One is obviously to let the family see what we're up to and what we're doing. And then another thing that's quite important for me is if you travel, you need to have a reason to travel. So for me, a big thing about traveling is to capture that in videos and photography. So it's always a good motivation to travel, to know you're going to take a photo, you're going to make a video, and hopefully you'll show that to the people out there. And that's a good motivation for me. Our income, well, as I said, we quit our jobs last year, March. So after March, none of us ever received a salary again. So that was quite tight. So in the first 2 months, you just crunch on the budget and say, listen, we don't make any money, and just money going out. So it's quite tough. All the expenses, everything that you see, it raises eyebrows because you know there's nothing coming in. We do have, obviously we've sold everything, so we do have like a tiki that generate a bit of interest and we've put it in investments, so it's a bit of interest, and you know, we live out of that. We have a couple of properties still in South Africa that generates a bit of income, but that's
rental income.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it for income. I think YouTube paid us our first ever check for a year, and that was something like $80.
$80.
$80 from YouTube. Thank you, YouTube.
Thanks, YouTube.
This beer is bought by YouTube and all our supporters and our viewers. So thank you very much. Obviously,
Patreon.
we have Patreon as well, but I don't think we really charge. We have 4 patrons, so thank you to all our patrons. If you guys are watching, I don't even know if you're watching, but if you're watching, thank you for your support. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Alright, so our monthly budget, what we said initially is to try and keep our monthly budget below what we used to spend back in South Africa. And we've done excellent. I think we've actually halved our monthly budget. We try for our accommodation, we try to keep it at about $800 a month, which is in Asia it's quite doable. So you can get a nice apartment for about $800, or you go on a budget hotels for about $800 a month.
And even though it's budget, it's always clean. We haven't had any dodgy hotels, it's just small, but always it has been clean, it's been safe.
And that's for 4 people. So in Asia, they usually let you stay in a family room. So you don't pay extra for the kids if they don't have to bring out any extra bedding or beds or mattresses. So sometimes it has happened quite a bit in Malaysia and Thailand, where we sleep on 2 single beds or on a big double bed. I think our last movie in Chiang Mai, almost double beds were almost a single bed. So. But yeah, we manage. I mean, if you travel and you only put down your head at night to get out and early in the next morning, that doesn't really matter. You don't need this big space and this nice living area. You just need to sleep, that's all.
Homeschooling. How do we educate the children? Kayla is now grade 2 and Megan is in grade R, and we've enrolled them in Think Digital College, which is a South African online college. They mainly focus on mathematics, languages, and then personal power, which is science and learning about the environment, recycling and stuff like that. So that is so just something I fall back on to make sure that the kids are online with what they actually should be doing. But we don't do school. We're not like, wake up, it's time for school. I've done that in the beginning, and it was a disaster because they just don't focus, they're not taking in. It was really, really difficult in the beginning. Now actually they will come to me and they will ask me, Mommy, can we do some homeschooling? And we'll switch on the computer. It's always with us, whether we're sitting here or traveling on a bus, wherever we are. But like I said, that's just like a thing that we fall back on. How we school basically is through our traveling.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos. Kayla started her own channel, and as we travel, we teach them what we see and what we experience, and it works well. I mean, they learn a lot, I think.
Yeah, there's now that instead of reading from a book about erosion, they actually can see it. Elephants, they can actually see the elephants
and experience it.
And the differences between Asian elephants and African elephants. There's so many topics I can't even cover it now. It will be a whole video on its own. So if you're interested,
maybe we should make a video about homeschooling.
Let me know if you're interested, and we'll do a video just about homeschooling and how we do it.
There's actually a lot of interesting facts about homeschooling that we might want to share with you guys. That might have some insights for people out there.
Okay. To end it off, we are in Southeast Asia, and there's so many more countries in Southeast Asia that we want to do. What are the countries that we missed? Are we finished with Asia? What's our future plans? What's next?
The one thing I do regret, I so desperately want to go and see the Philippines. So let's see. Problems. You can't do that. She almost bumped her head. Look at it. Bali at its best. And it's quite local here, I like it. Right, almost finished. So, where were we? Philippines. That's a place I regret not seeing. We are ending our Asian trip here in Bali, and that will probably last for a couple of months. Still, in April we have our wedding anniversary, our 10-year wedding anniversary, and we got married probably 3 kilometers to that site. So that's the one thing we're doing here in Bali. We're finishing it off. So what I regret, which we didn't get to, is Philippines. I desperately wanted to see it, but we haven't done that. And then perhaps Cambodia and Myanmar as well. But after Vietnam, we just felt we need a rest. We really need a rest because we were exhausted. So that's it. And then obviously after Bali, we're heading back home to South Africa for about, I don't know how long. Not long. Melanie already told me if there's no onward tickets, she's not going back to South Africa. She doesn't want to get stuck in South Africa. But we have a couple of plans up our sleeves, and hopefully we'll make a video about that as well.
South Africa is such a lovely country, and I think we really need to show you more about our country and how we travel. So we're not going to be in one base, we're going to travel around the country and make similar footage that we've done.
Hopefully we can show you. I have another channel on YouTube where we've done all of this for years already. So hopefully we can show you now in real time how we travel in South Africa and the safaris we do. It's just absolutely amazing. It's totally different from what we've done here in Asia.
So that's us. So please, we're almost finished with our Thailand series, and then it's Vietnam, which is a series not to be missed. I actually did something I never would have done in my whole life, and I'm so proud of it. But you have to wait to see what it is.
Oh yeah, now I'm curious.
I know it is.
Okay.
If you have any more questions that you think we didn't cover or you would like more information in it, please feel free to email us on uslovingwanderlust@gmail.com, and if there's enough questions, we will definitely make a follow-up Q&A video on it.
Right, thank you very much. Goodbye. Cheers. From stunning Bali, and see you next time.